Hey everybody, it's Dave Chuno, the Meniere's Disease Warrior. How y'all doing? I'm doing okay. I can't complain. It's a stormy day here, so I don't feel all that great. The pressure, weather really bothers me when these low fronts come in and everything. So it happens. No vertigo, but it happens. But I want to talk about a serious topic. Not that everything that I talk about isn't serious, but this one's kind of really serious. One of them is about thinking about ending it all. Okay, and the reason why I'm making this is because sometimes we do see posts like this in groups, and there was one in my group yesterday about somebody asking what's the quickest way to die to end this all. I'm too scared to commit suicide or whatever, and I'm just going to say suicide is not the answer to relieve Meniere's disease. I mean, it really isn't. Because you can live a life. Problem is that people get depressed so much that they don't even reach out for help. And to the person who made that post, I'm telling you right now, call your doctor, get a referral to a therapist, a behavioral therapist. Get that ball rolling so we can get you that thought out of your head. We want you with us, not somewhere else. So get those thoughts out of your head, or to be able to deal with them a little better. Or if you're that desperate, go to the ER and tell them you want to harm yourself, and they're going to help you. Okay, even if they hold you over for a couple of days, you're getting help. Okay, and I've made videos about anxiety and mental health and going to therapy, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, and I get the thoughts of suicide and ending your life, because I went through it in 2018, 2019. I did. I kind of went off the deep end. I was 30 years sober, started drinking again. My mental state just went to crap. I did want to kill myself. It was awful. It was awful, but luckily I had some friends of mine that really nailed me to the wall and said, "Now you gotta get some help. We're getting you help. This is ending." And then I did. I made the phone call. I saw the therapist. I was in therapy for almost 2 years. I'm not saying I wanted to kill myself the whole 2 years. That kind of ended in a month. Those thoughts, for me. The rest of it was just stuff that I never dealt with my whole life, and didn't realize I actually do have severe anxiety and depression. You really wouldn't tell from my videos, but I do. I actually take medications for it. But it's not the answer. It's not the answer. There are therapies out there that do work, that help, and you just have to try them. And Meniere's is a hit or miss. It's a hit or miss. It's not one thing works for everybody. Beta histine doesn't work for everybody. Works for a lot. Doesn't work for everybody. The steroid shots, they help some, they don't help others. Prednisone helps some, don't help others. I actually had a lampectomy in my left ear in 2019 that got rid of the vertigo for a few years. Then it came back in 2023, 2024, and I had a sac decompression surgery this year, and the vertigo's gone. I still have everything else. I still have the tinnitus. I'm still deaf. I got a cochlear implant this year. That's every day is getting better and better to hear on the left side. But I understand it. All of a sudden you get this disease, and you've been dealing with it, and you can't figure out what's working, and you can't go back to work. You can't do the things you used to do. I get it. I went through it, and I found ways to work around it. One of the ways of working around it is having this YouTube channel. Sure, it's I don't get paid, but it keeps me occupied. It keeps my mind going. Fishing, everybody here knows I love to go fishing. Well, instead of going to those big spots, those spots where I knew I can catch big fish and all this stuff, I can't. They're too far. They're too deep in the woods. I do start getting dizzy, vertigo in the woods. So this year was probably the first year I actually walked maybe half a mile in the woods, 2 miles, a mile into the woods. And it was very hard. And coming out was even harder. But I found spots where I can go where, okay, I'm not going for those big bass anymore. I'm catching whatever I catch. Whether I'm using rubber bait, worms, maybe little shiners. I don't care what I catch as long as I catch something. So it makes me happy. I can't do what I used to do, but it makes me happy. You know? Going for long road trips. I used to love going on road trips, especially for work. I mean, Atlanta. I drove down to Atlanta. I drove down to South Carolina. I drove down to Virginia. Out to Pennsylvania more than once. Well, Jersey's kind of like my second home. Northern New Jersey was kind of like my second home for a while. Getting in the car, just going down to Cape. I couldn't do that for years. Years. And this year was the first time I actually did it. I had to go to Connecticut for a wedding. And we're in Connecticut, it was about 2.5 hour ride. And I did it. I drove down, went to the wedding, stayed in a hotel, drove back home. Everything was good. Tired the next couple of days after, but I did it. So things do improve. They can improve. But one of the things is that you have to put the work into. So if you're thinking of committing suicide, ending your life, harming yourself, go to the ER. Go to your doctor. Ask for a referral to a therapist, a behavioral therapist. Do something. Don't let it win. You know, one of the things I used to say in 2018, 2019 was, don't let the bastard win. Don't let the bastard win. Fight it. Because, believe me, you may not think it right now, but there are better days ahead. And I'm telling you the truth. I'm living proof there's better days ahead. And one more thing before I end this. I know the person posted a video of suicide. There in my group. There is no rule against that. And I will not remove that post. So if you're in my group, you all know who I am. Stop reporting it. I'm not removing it. The person needs help. Whether it's got shitty language in it, or you feel uncomfortable with it, scroll by, because it's not going to be removed. And if it does get removed by somebody else, I will undo it and put it back up. Those are situations where somebody's desperate and they're reaching out. And most cases when they do reach out, they're probably not going to do it. I'm not going to say it's 100% they're not going to do it, but it's a high percentage that they're not going to do it. But they're reaching out. They're looking for ideas. They're looking for help. Stop trying to shut them down because of whatever feeling you have. All right. And on that note, I'll talk to you all later. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.